It's time for Elden Ring. This is the first time in like a week I can just get off work and be like, wow, now I have 4 hours of Elden Ring.
Hell yeah, dude.
I had my lovely parents in town, and it was nice, honestly, to get a break from just doing nothing but staying up late and playing video games. I continued that trend last night and got to bed at like 9:30 and woke up at 5:30 today, and I'm on a normal schedule again. It's nice. But time to ruin it. Time to fucking get back into it. I just cracked up at you. You're like, you just saw my text. Here I come.
Dude, it made me laugh so much.
Here I come.
Here I come. Fox says that. That might be why I'm laughing.
Here I come.
Here I come.
Here I come.
Let's go.
I'm coming. Oh man.
One day I sat on a banana, and of course that changed my life.
You sent an image, huh? Oh,
Yeah.
so you did. You stole the question from my mouth. I was gonna say, did you end up going down to? It's called like Jarbug, isn't it?
Jarberg.
Jarberg. Is it called Jarberg?
Yeah, it's got an R.
Oh my god, I kept reading it as Jarbug. Jarberg is even funnier because it's they're jars. I also like that the pots are such good gardeners because potted plants.
I think this area is like the purpose of the area is just to collect crafting materials. I think that's the main.
Did you notice that one of the pots is like pissed at you?
He's pissed. What do you mean?
So one of the houses has a pot sitting in it, a little baby guy, and if you go in there, he'll try to fuck you up.
Well, you didn't knock before you entered, did you?
I mean, I didn't see the option, to be fair.
Oh, there's no option. But, you gotta be nice to the pot boy.
Where am I right now? I'm standing by the... I was just exploring the map as a Newman, just
He
trying...
does. If you walk in there, he gets pissed.
He gets super upset, like you did not really make yourself known.
I think you startled him when you walk in. Because he's sleeping, it looks like. This might be the funniest fucking thing that they've ever created.
The pots?
Yeah, the fact that like people thought they were just going to be mimics, which they are. But there's also one that just talks to you,
People
and
love the pots.
they're not hostile. Most of them.
I'm at like the most northern part I've been in the map, other than getting sucked into the volcano manor. I don't even know. It's one of these creepy finger ladies here. I'm gonna put this down. I'm broadcasting on the stream. Oh, there's a side of grace. I can tell you where I'm at. Great.
Oh, you can summon me if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have some shit, dude. The Western developers. It's actually not as inflated, I think, as the internet makes it look. It's just funny that most people. Like, the zeitgeist on Twitter, I notice, is just so narrow, and it's like this game has, I think it sold 10 million copies on PC alone, which is fucking crazy.
It's the highest streamed Souls game of all time.
It's one of the highest streamed Japanese games of all time. That's like that's not in like an MMO or something. Where am I? I am at the East Raya Lucaria Gate. That's interesting.
East Rail Lucaria.
It's like the big ass bridge that leaves the academy and goes north.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to get? You know how to get into the academy, right?
I actually already have the map, so I should be able to just walk up to this gate and it should open. Yeah, I could literally just get in through that big ass seal right there.
You'd have to summon me in there if you want to do that.
I'm gonna talk to Finger Bitch real quick.
Okay.
Someone put a thing down on the ground that said fingers required ahead. You, please. Can I read them? But yeah, I'm excited. I want to talk about these developers because they're a bunch of babies.
They're a bunch of little babies. No, I agree with what you said, though. It's definitely overblown because the internet just increases the intensity of every conversation.
I mean, sometimes it's like it's kind of like, it's just interesting in this case because it's not coming from just like butthurt fans like spamming Metacritic like with The Last of Us, where the game had high critic reviews and then the audience reviews had a skew that didn't correlate with the reality due to like trolling. This is like people are clearly just they're not used to the intentional design of the Souls games. So when it purposely makes like I would not call it not user friendly, unpolished, unfinished. The the word I always use for this is obtuse. It's like Miyazaki wants it to be obtuse. He wants it to be kind of vague and difficult and puzzling, even to like figure out how to operate the game. I mean, play Bloodborne. It's almost once you go in with those expectations, the first 20 minutes of Bloodborne are like hilarious because you're trying to figure out how to even equip your weapon. And
Exactly. Yeah. That's the perfect word for it is obtuse. The main thing for me is just there's this sense of discovery not only in the world, but it's also in understanding how your character interacts with the world and how you interact with the character.
yeah,
And like the thing I was thinking of is I feel like a lot of these developers maybe they went to college and they were taught a certain way how to make a game, and then suddenly this game is doing well and they're seeing all of their hard work and comparing it to this one, and they go, "Well, this is not how I was taught to make a game."
it's just weird that
I don't know if that's
the people that correlate, and I keep using that word, but the people who kind of align with the zeitgeist of like this is not friendly UX, like so user experience is not like QA, like quality assurance being done. They are aligning with very hand-holdy and like generic games, in my opinion, or at least
Mhm.
oversaturated, which is not an opinion. Like the market, Donkey, who again, I mean, Video Game Donkey put out one of the best videos of this ever, where when he did a review on Horizon Forbidden West, and he said, you know, the game was fine. He's like, this is not a game anyone's going to really love or hate unless this was like their 25th open world game or like their first open world game. You're going to feel lukewarm on it. And I think that's the issue is that there's a lot of samey, like, all right, go here, collect this, now go here, talk to this. It doesn't feel like a video game. It feels like a simulator with video game mechanics in the simulator where you can do
Mhm.
combat and you can do leveling up and skill trees, but it's like there's no thinking. There's no problem solving. There's actually very
No,
little.
you're exactly right.
There's no platforming. There's very little fun. I mean, I think in Horizon, it's like, hey, when you get a moment to interact with the environment and you get a moment to have some of the really rad combat and explore some of the
Yeah, I mean,
enemy
there's
design.
highlights of that game, like
Yeah,
fighting a giant robotic bird that's flying through the sky, and all this crazy shit is
yeah,
happening. You
it's
have to use
awesome.
like your bow and your staff to knock pieces of armor off to do more damage.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good
really
example.
good.
That's a great
That's
example. I think this example can correlate like with it's just the genre in general. I mean, when I think of like Rockstar, they were like the pivotal Western, pioneers with open world design, and now their games feel outdated. And it's a similar thing where it's like, man, this story is great and this is funny, and you guys have created a really breathing world, but like, this is a video game. This should be a thing where like, it feels like a video game, and I feel like there's been a bit of it was kind of not low key, but like a renaissance in the last decade in few instances when Kojima got his hands on the genre, when Zelda and like Aonuma, the guys at Nintendo, when they got their eyes on their hand on the genre, and now Miyazaki's like they have this similar like very sandbox systemic sort of gameplay approach where it's like everything should just affect everything and you should just be in here with your toys and kind of go at it. And there's still, I love how this game answers any potential criticism with having tight level design. Like certain
yeah.
people say, like Metal Gear doesn't have any tight level design; it just has amazing tools and mechanics. Zelda fixed that by having a beautiful world, but still, there's a bit of depth to be desired for some more hardcore players. This game answers that. It's like, hey, here's Stormvale Castle, where it's literally a Dark Souls level in the middle of
Hmm.
our open world, and we're doing both. And I don't know. I see where people are coming from when they don't vibe with this game, but like I often want to make sure that it's like, hey, have you given it the chance? Have you actually like really tried to enjoy this? Are you aware that it's very intentional? Like there's not any oversight here or any mistakes to suggest, especially if we're going to get into opinions, having the nerve has the UX programmer on fucking Battlefield 2022. This is the guy who went pretty viral and call out the user experience and quality assurance on a game like Elden Ring, where I don't even see hardly any pop in or any glitching enemies or bugs, and I'm just like, you're gonna call out Elden Ring for things that are intentional, like as if it's oversight and someone like missed this clear creative direction. It's like that's what's always in people. It's funny how so many game to your point about academia here. So many game designers I think don't know about game design. They just know about design, and that can get in the way here. And it's like it's a video game. If it's something like how the menu should be laid out or how the player should interact with the world, that's not QA. That's creative direction. That is handed down from the top. That is intentional and developer backed and worked on and cycled through a three-phase system. It's like that is not. It's just so ironic to hear developers. I really do just think that there's certain people who just can't get good at these games, and they like to find reasons to lash out at such high praise they get.
There's I think the perfect example is comparing like your mount in all these open world games.
Yeah.
You have obviously this game benefits from having a world that leans into it, but why the fuck do I have to whistle for my horse and I have to wait for the horse to like just magically spawn somewhere off in the distance where the camera can't see it, and then it casually walks over to me? Why do I have to do that? Why can't the horse just fucking spawn right next to me like in this game? Why do we have to commit to realism when you are literally creating this world by hand?
It's funny because I've never
control.
even really thought of it. Like, I really haven't. I've always just been like, oh, the horse mechanics just get better. Like, there's been good horses and bad. Like, I liked the horses in Breath of the Wild, and god damn it did I love the horse in Metal Gear. It just became a bit irrelevant because they assigned it to a buddy slot, and the buddies became more useful for combat later in that game. If they would have had the horse as a separate slot, I would have continued using it because it's just
they should have given the horse miniguns.
It's honestly on each side. I don't even mind that the horses have to be summoned and whatnot. It's just the fact that like once this was done, I'm like, yeah, it's just like why
Why do we have
bother?
to have like The Witcher 3 where you whistle for the horse and then the horse will just spawn on a roof of a house? And
it's
then you're
crazy
like, well,
how games evolve. I mean, that's called development in a vacuum, right? Like if any games that are going to come out in the next year or two that didn't go the same route and still have summonable mounts where they have to, because like I remember back in the Twilight Princess days, and like summoning Epona was fucking cool every time. Like every time Epona came running, I was like, man, this is really cool. And like even in Breath of the Wild, like whistling for your horse, it's like, oh, he can hear me from over there, and it's like he's gonna make his way to come find me. He's avoiding, running into things, and like I have to manage his stamina. Like it felt fine, but now that this innovation has been made, I'm sure Elden Ring didn't invent this. I think Genshin Impact actually invented something like this. But the fact that it's been mainstreamed, it's like, oh, I can't really go back now, and just automatically overnight, those seemingly fine mechanics are outdated. Quick caveat, I just accidentally killed an NPC, and she said there's a curse upon me.
You can't believe you did that.
Have you done that?
No, of course not.
You haven't?
No, I don't know. I've never heard that before.
Fuck. Are you serious?
That's the other thing. There's there's implications on the world. If, like you can just kind of, well, actually, there might be a system somewhere later on that can help you fix that. They have that in all the games where if you fuck up, you can kind of get resolution.
Well, it was one of the finger readers, and I just like walked up and started swiping at her to see if I could swing my weapon near her, and she's like, a curse is upon you. Your path leads only to death. And I was just like, oh fuck me,
You're
dude.
fucked. That might change the ending.
I need to back out.
I wonder if that's gonna mess with like your.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna quit the broadcast real quick and restart it. Hold on, I'm still on voice chat though.
Oh.